Good morning, everyone. Does anyone want to see the opening for the live stream? Well, too bad. Here it comes. Good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm your KevinlyFather. This is Spilling Covfefe. There's no agenda here. We just do. So, good to see everybody. Hi, Ann. Hi, Libby. Hi, at Random. Marcy, Cindy, Sailor Chick. It's been a while. Everybody else. Stephanie was first. Congratulations, Stephanie. Judges, are you here? Judges are here. So, everybody is ready to go. We are all set. I am back at home. I don't even remember the name of these studios. I've been so long. What do they call the studios here? Oh, Cooper Hall Studios. Thank you. I'm back in Los Angeles and looking at another studio. So it's going to be a busy day. I've got 4 auditions to do. I've been gone. At Random has been hosting me at Rusty Bed Studios for the last week. So I've got my equipment. I've got the stuff that theoretically works. Hopefully an internet that works well. I woke up and I saw young Rand Paul speaking to young Dr. Fauci about the coronas. And Asen had captured a couple of different clips. So I said, well, I got to watch this. Because this is always good conflict. This is way better than Sex in the City. All I've heard about the new Sex in the City is it's absolutely terrible. I don't know. I've never watched the old one. I've heard the old one many, many times. I used to own a limo company, and that was a thing for like a bachelorette party. Someone would bring the Sex in the City's DVDs, and I would have to be driving around and listening, and that's how I drove the limo, just like that. And then everybody in the back is back and forth, because that's fun. That's fun. You're dancing, even when there's no music. So we'll watch that. We'll watch Dr. Fauci showing the receipts, as Stephanie would say. And let's see if I can find the part where
baseball is America's pastime.
Skip all the way to that.
This is the...
I can't hear what you guys are hearing. Let me skip the ad. And I'll turn on the volume here in a second. There's Fauci. Okay. So that looks like an opening statement they're reading. 45 minutes in. Patty Murray. Okay. Tim Kaine. Here we go. Here's Rand Paul. So let's just get together and watch this. I got like 4 auditions to do this morning. So we'll just do a quickie this morning. Okay. Like my boyfriend. Hold on. Here we come. Hi, Deidre. Did you ever drive OJ? No, never drove OJ. It was well after OJ's time. And I drove Magic Johnson several times. Magic's actually a really nice guy. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Let's listen to hear what Senator Kaine has to say about things.
There are several levels of activity going on.
That's very quiet in my ear. Oh, let me turn up the volume here on your part.
News since we spoke last. I had mentioned to you, Senator, that in...
let me know what his volume levels are like, guys. If you can't hear him, let me know.
In fact, there was a $1.15 billion program for studying long COVID that is now developing cohorts to look at various incidences, prevalences, pathogenesis, and potential interventions. There have been a number of awards that have been given. Most recently, in September, there was an additional $470 million funding supported through the American Rescue Plan, engaging about 100 researchers from 30 institutions to get individuals together. One of the things that's really interesting that we're seeing right now is that when you look at individuals who have these symptoms that go on, as you know, and have experienced yourself for a considerable period of time, a recent study that is in the preprint stage, so it hasn't been peer-reviewed.
This is. I want to hear this part about long COVID because, of course, that's the concern for many of us, especially if we've been vaccinated. We know we're going to be okay. We're not going to die. A study that Dr. Walensky was talking about the other day, which is completely misunderstood by the right wing. They're just like, if you're right wing, you have comprehension issues. 99% of the time, you're Republican because you don't understand Englishing. I'm completely convinced of this. that whatever that number is that support Trump, those are the number of Americans. That's the number of Americans with comprehension issues, and that's why they support Trump. Or irrational fear. Those are the two possibilities. So if Trump has 94% support in the Republican Party, that is the exact percentage of Americans who can't understand what words mean when they are strung together.
Has some very interesting information that needs to be validated and verified. It was an...
I also like that Dr. Fauci, when he's talking about a preprint study, that's what he's going to say. What happens in the... you guys know how it works.
Autopsy study in people who had varying levels of COVID.
I'm going to figure out how to start broadcasting on Rumble and see if that will work with the chat room so that we can have the Rumbles people in here as well. Once Trump's streaming service starts too, I'll get up on there. It'll be interesting. We'll be nothing but furniture in here.
COVID from relatively mildly symptomatic to moderately symptomatic individuals who actually died. And when they look...
I would put it to you that not the couch, but the love seat out there in the studio living room has a higher comprehension level than most Republicans. And here's the thing, I've voted for Republicans before. I'm independent. I take each issue and I say, this is what's important to me, which candidate, running out of the many, is going to support my issues for me. That's how I vote. I don't, well, they're Democrats, so I have to vote for, they're Republican, I have to vote for, no. It's not the way to do things. Parties change. The Democrats used to be the party of slavery. It's true. It was 140 years ago, but yeah.
At the spread of what was not necessarily replication-competent virus, but was PCR-able virus, which means you could have nucleotides that were there seems to be a persistence in multiple organ systems, indicating that even if you clear the virus, one of the possibilities, and I have to emphasize possibility because it needs to be validated, is that you don't completely clear the fragments of the virus and you have continual stimulation, not that you're infectious or that you're going to infect anybody else, but that it is still generating perhaps an aberrant response in your immune system. I underscore again, it's preliminary, it's in the preprint stage, and it needs to be peer-reviewed.
It does, but it makes sense that COVID stays in your body, especially in the organs, long after you've already cleared the virus from your system, meaning that it's gone. But it's not. It's still, fragments of it are staying in your organs, and that would explain how long COVID comes to being.
But that's some of the information we're starting to gather.
Thank you very much for that answer. Thank you, Chair Murray.
Senator Paul.
Senator Paul.
Dr. Fauci,
That's why we're here.
the idea that a government official like yourself would claim unilaterally to represent science, that any criticism of you would be considered a criticism of science itself, is quite...
Well, it's not that you're not representing science, but you use the scientific method, and that's established.
dangerous. Central planning, whether it be of the economy or of science, is risky because of the fallibility of the planner. It would not be so...
Well, no, that science is infallible. Science is a method. But okay.
catastrophic.
That you can't... I can't even explain it. Okay.
If the planner were simply one physician and...
And now if I'm Dr. Fauci at this point, I would say, what do you think science is, Dr. Paul, with your degree in eye surgery or something that you made for yourself? That he created his own certification board to be a doctor. I'm not making this up. You can look this up. This has been fact-checked.
Peoria, then the mistakes would only affect that physician's patients, the people who chose that.
So science is constantly changing. Science is just how you study facts. And if you're studying things, well, how does this... Well, let's find out. Let's take this double blind and we'll find out here. And then we'll see this through these studies, what is actually happening. Oh, and then we're going to take this and it's going to be preprint, which means it hasn't been peer-reviewed, looked at by other scientists who can then verify the science that happened in the first place and say, yeah, now it makes sense. You go before a peer-reviewed study and they look at it and say, no, I don't think you used enough particulate in this particular beaker or whatever it happens to be. And then, oh, okay, well, now we know. once it's been peer-reviewed and then studied, but that's all science. Science is like, I don't like the New England Patriots, but I enjoy football. Football is the science. It's how the game is played.
Position. But when the planner is a government official, like yourself, who rules by mandate, the errors are compounded and become much more...
That's not what is happening at all. There's no ruling by mandate.
more harmful. A planner who believes he is the science leads to an arrogance that justifies, in his mind, using government resources to smear and to destroy the reputations of other scientists who disagree with him. In an email exchange with Dr. Collins, you conspire, and I quote here directly from the email, to create a quick and devastating published takedown of 3 prominent epidemiologists.
Oh, man, he does such a good Dr. Fauci. By the way, that's not what Dr. Fauci said. That's what Dr. Collins said. But, okay.
From Harvard, Oxford, and Stanford. Apparently, there's a lot of fringe epidemiologists at Harvard, Oxford, and Stanford. And you quote in the email that they were from Dr. Collins, and you...
Yes, they're from Dr. Collins. Nice cell phone there. Yes, you quote in the email from Dr. Collins. Come on, Rand. You quote... No, not you quote. Dr. Collins says... My God.
Agree that they are fringe. And immediately there's this takedown effort. A published takedown, though, doesn't
A what?
quote
A takedown
in
what?
the email that they were from Dr. Collins, and you agree that they are fringe. And immediately there's this takedown effort. A published take...
Yeah, nobody wants a takedown effort, especially if you're going to Harvard. Last thing you want is an effort. You park your car, you go inside, you make an effort. Where's Rand from?
Though, doesn't exactly conjure up the image of a dispassionate scientist. Instead of engaging them on the merits, you and Dr. Collins sought to smear them as fringe and take them down. And not in journals, in lay press. This is not only antithetical to the scientific method, it's the epitome of cheap politics, and it's reprehensible, Dr. Fauci.
Lay press? God, it's been a long time since I had a good lay press.
Do you really think it's appropriate to use your $420,000 salary to attack scientists that disagree with you?
Well, he didn't, but okay, let's find out.
The email you're referring to was an email of Dr. Collins to me. If you look at the email...
That you responded to and hurried up and said, I can do it. We got something in Wired magazine.
He's reading the email in a hurried up fashion. Okay, we can do it. That's how you read emails. Emails are so good for interpreting tone. That's why I like emails.
No, I think in you...
But there is no hurry up. He does not write hurry up, we can do this in the email. I'm not even going to bother pulling it up. Just what Dr. Fauci... I've seen this part of the clip. What Dr. Fauci says here accurately describes the email. None of the emails, none of the 400 pages or 1,200 pages or whatever many pages you have of Dr. emails indicts Dr. Fauci in any way, shape, or form. All of it makes sense. All of it has been misinterpreted, again, by the Republicans with comprehension issues. Rand Paul being one of the worst.
Usual fashion, Senator, you are distorting everything about me.
Did you ever object to Dr. Collins' characterization of them as fringe? Did you write back to Dr. Collins and say, no, they're not fringe, they're esteemed scientists, and it would be beneath me
I did
to
not
do that? You responded to him that you would do it, and you immediately got an article in Wired.
Can I finish? And
you sent it back to him and said, hey, look, I've got him. I nailed him in Wired of all scientific
That's not
publications.
what went on. There you go again.
In Wired of all scientific Wired is not a scientific publication.
Just do the same thing every hearing.
That was your response. And this wasn't the only time. So your desire to take down people...
You're absolutely incorrect. As usual, Senator, you are incorrect.
Oh, the judges agree. Rand Paul is incorrect as usual? Is that what you guys are saying? Yeah. Incorrect as usual, Rand Paul. I want to get a t-shirt with Rand Paul's face and just says, incorrect as usual.
correct almost everything you
Well,
said.
no, you deny, but the emails tell the truth of this.
No.
This wasn't the only time. Your desire to take down those who disagree with you didn't stop with Harvard, Oxford, and Stanford. You conspired.
No, it's if the science is wrong, Dr. Fauci has taken himself down before. Again, look at how he was just talking about the long COVID study. Now, this is pre-press. This has not been peer-reviewed, and this needs to be studied more. He's a scientist.
With Peter Daszak, who you communicated with privately, and other members of the scientific community that wrote opinion pieces for Nature. 5 of them signed a paper for Nature, an opinion piece. 17 signed a paper that called it conspiracy theory, the idea that the virus could have originated in the lab.
We're still on the lab origination theory, but okay.
Do you think words like conspiracy theory should be in a scientific paper?
Senator, I never used that word when I was referring to it. You're distorting virtually everything.
Did you communicate with the 5 scientists who wrote the opinion piece in Nature where they were describing, oh, there's no way this could have come from the lab?
That was not me. What I did.
Did you talk with any of those scientists privately?
You keep distorting the truth. It is stunning how you do that.
Did you talk to any?
Have you ever talked to a scientist who's written something? Have you? So-called Dr. Fauci?
Of the scientists privately
Yes.
who wrote the opinion. You did.
Well,
what were they telling you privately?
Well, let me explain. You know, you're going back to that original discussion when I brought together a group of people to look at every possibility with an open mind. So you not only...
Yeah, he did, by the way. That we should explore this. We should take a look at where the virus might have come from. That was what Dr. Fauci was doing back at the beginning. Back when Trump was saying, hey, you know what? We really got to praise President Xi for being so transparent. China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their effort and transparency. It will all work out well. 800,000 dead so far. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi. At the same time, as Dr. Fauci is saying, hey, we should take a look. And China is kicking the CDC scientists out of China. And Trump's just like, thank you, President Xi, for kicking out American scientists that have many times contradicted me. They're just trying to get you. They're part of the gotcha science media conglomerate. I don't know that Trump has ever used the word conglomerate. I may be wrong there.
you distorting it.
Thank you, Feisty.
You're completely turning it around, as
Were
you
most of the
usually
scientists
do.
that came to you privately, did they come to you privately and say, no way, this came from the lab? Or was their initial impression, Dr. Gary and others that were involved, was their initial impression
I haven't seen this part, but I know we didn't know that we were taking a look at.
actually that it looked very suspicious for a virus that came from a lab?
Senator, we are here at a committee to look at a virus now that has killed almost 900,000 people. And the purpose of the committee was to try and get things out, how we can help to get the American public. And you keep coming back to personal attacks on me that have absolutely no relevance to reality.
Do you
Thank you.
think anybody has had more influence over our
let me
response to
finish.
this than you have? Do you think
Madam
it's a great
Chair, can I-
success? Do you think it's a great success what's happened so
Right.
far? Do you think
You-
the
you
lockdowns were
said-
good for our kids? Do you think we slowed down the death rate? More people have died now under President Biden than did under President Trump. You are the one responsible. You are the architect.
You're the one responsible.
You are the lead architect for the response from the government.
And the people are not doing what he's suggesting that we do. Wear your mask, get vaccinated, keep your social distance. Nobody's doing, well, that's not true. Half the country's doing that thing. 25%, the last time I saw, have been boosted. Guys, get your booster.
And now 800,000 people have.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, my daughter spent the evening and slept over at my son's house. My son, the next morning, woke up with a fever. He had the coronavirus. He's now feeling much, much better. Thank you, everybody. His girlfriend as well caught it. She is feeling much, much better. She woke up with 103 fever yesterday, which is very, very bad. Back down to normal now. I haven't checked in today, so far so good. My daughter left as soon as that positive test happened. Is fully boosted. Didn't get it. So she's been tested multiple times, PCR. She's back at work today with they test PCR, they test random. They test rapid test as well the morning of. So she again passed another rapid test this morning. So she's doing just fine. This is now a week on from the original a possibility of infection, but being boosted, even though it's incredibly contagious. The booster that she had managed to protect her, we believe, from even getting infected. No, even though Omicron is incredibly infectious. Contagious.
Died.
Right.
So you think it's a winning success, what you've advocated for government?
Senator, first of all, if you...
No, the jab works amazingly well off time. If you take a look at the study that the right wing is misunderstanding so much the last few weeks, Dr. Walensky referred to it on the Sunday shows, there was a study of 1.2 million vaccinated individuals. Of those 1.2, only 36 died. Only 36 out of 1.2 million. Not from the jab, by the way, from COVID. So COVID gets 36 people. Of those 36, 3 out of 4 of them had at least 4 underlying conditions. These are very frail people to begin with. So the vaccine protected everybody else. It is amazingly effective against death. And that was before boosters. Just an amazing study. So that's fantastic.
Look at everything that I said. You accuse me of, in a monolithic way, telling people what they need to do. Everything that I've said has been in support of the CDC guidelines. Wear a mask, get boosted.
And you've advocated to make it coercive and done through force.
Everything
you've
that I've
advocated
said.
it be done by mandate.
Right.
You've advocated that your infallible opinion be dictated by law.
Right. So,
Well, no, there's opinion and then there's science.
again, Madam Chair, I would like just a couple of minutes because this happens all the time. You personally attack me, and with absolutely not a shred of evidence of anything you say. So I would like to make some...
Well, hold on. That is not true. Rand Paul clearly took somebody else's email and said it was yours. That's evidence, my friend.
Something clear to the committee. He's doing this for political reasons. What you need to do is, he said in front of this committee...
You think your takedown of 3 prominent epidemiologists was not political?
You don't want me
that
to
was
finish.
My question.
Takedown? Are those epidemiologists? Are they out of work now? Are they out there pounding the street day after day? Or are they still epidemiologists? Are they okay?
Know what I'm going to say.
That was the question.
Senator,
were you political in taking down these 3 prominent epidemiologists?
Senator Paul,
Again, that was Dr. Collins' email, not Dr. Fauci's.
if you would please, I'm going to allow Dr. Fauci to respond. We have a number of senators who would like to ask questions, and I would like him to be able to respond. Please do so.
So the last time we had a committee, or the time before, he was accusing me of being responsible for the death of 4 to 5 million people, which is really irresponsible. And I say, why is he doing that? There are 2 reasons why that's really bad. The first is it distracts from what we're all trying to do here today, is get our arms around the epidemic and the pandemic that we're dealing with, not something imaginary. Number 2, what happens when he gets out and accuses me of things that are completely untrue is that all of a sudden that kindles the crazies out there, and I have life...
The crazies. I love this man.
The threats upon my life,
Yeah.
harassment of my family and my children with obscene phone calls because people are lying about me. Now, I guess you could say, well, that's the way it goes. I can take the hit. Well, it makes a difference because, as some of you may know, just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, on December 21st, a person was arrested who was on their way from Sacramento.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Dr. Fauci was talking right there about the crazies. We just lost 4 viewers.
To Washington, D.C.
Hi,
at a
Josh.
speed stop in Iowa. And they asked first,
Okay, I want to hear this.
a person was arrested who was on their way from Sacramento to Washington, D.C. at a speed stop in Iowa. And the police asked him where he was going, and he was going to Washington, D.C. to kill Dr. Fauci.
Jesus.
And they found in his car an AR-15 and multiple magazines of ammunition because he thinks that maybe I'm killing people. So I ask myself, why would Senator want to do this? So go to Rand Paul website, and you see Fire Dr. Fauci with a little box that says, contribute here. You can do $5, $10, $20, $100.
Let's verify that. Actually, we can do this. While we're doing this, let's go to Rand Paul. Rand Paul's website should be the first Senator Rand Paul, paul.senate.gov, and Kentucky first. He says issues, waste reports, news, Senate services for Kentucky, Connect, legislation, events, news. I don't know that. So this is Senate.gov. This is his official Senate.gov. I don't know that he would put it on here. Hold on a second. Let's go to RandPaul.com. There we go. Rand Paul for U.S. Senate. Issues. Here we go. Issues. My policies. America First. Second Amendment. Fire Fauci. Here it is. Fire Fauci. Dr. Fauci's abandoned science. Blah, blah, blah. And sign up for updates. So, donate. Here we go. There's that box, but this is a picture of Rand. But I have seen these before. Get involved. Here we go. Get involved. What issues matter to you, etc. Media. Rand. Okay. Rand Paul's campaign donates $100,000 to tornado relief. Good. Which means that you have millions of dollars that people have given you. That's not your money. But that's nice. I like that. Instead of wasting it on things like firing Fauci. Liberty Tree? What is this about? Okay, so Rand Paul has been saying we need to learn to live with the virus. We can't let this virus shut us down. But then, here's his post on health officials are allowing COVID-infected staff to stay on the job. ABC News, okay. Okay. Right. So now he's against that, though, apparently. So I can't find that exact page, but I don't doubt for a second that page was up there.
So you are making a catastrophic epidemic for your political gain. So the
You
only
have
thing
politically
the only thing
attacked
that I
your
can-
colleagues, and in a politically reprehensible
The only
way, you
thing that I
attack their
could think of-
reputations.
Okay,
You won't
we-
defend it.
No,
You won't
well,
argue it.
I'm
You'll just
sorry,
simply
but we're
turn around
going
the
to
attack.
continue this hearing. We
Yeah.
have a number of
Right.
questions from
Just
other senators.
one more minute, please.
Well,
if
Dr.
my-
Fauci, I really appreciate your response, but we do have a number of questions from senators, and we
But he has papers. I want to see his papers.
do have a second round, and I'm being asked to make sure that everybody has their time. So thank
Oh, they have a
Thank
second
you very
round.
much for allowing me, Madam Chair.
So there'll be more of this.
We will move to Senator Murphy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dr. Fauci, thank you. Thank you, first of all, for what you do. You shouldn't have to put your life at risk. You shouldn't have to put your
That's just terrible. Thank God that the idiot who was on his way to Washington, D.C. was pulled over for speeding. Thank God. The crazies almost always gives themselves away. Sometimes they don't. Let's see who else we got here. We got Murphy.
Tests
We got
and supplies
Collins.
What happens is that are then with
help with the accuracy of data by keeping your car.
Maggie Hassan, that's another one of the senators that you're like, there's so many senators. Roger Marshall, so many senators. There's 100 senators, although there's no way to tell for sure. And so many of them are like, Maggie Hassan? Is she? Which, wait. She was on the Golden Girls, right? No, she's a United States senator. Is she? that they don't. I don't know what would be best. To just not have them, or to have them be the actual senators and then get rid of all the Rand Pauls. Just, you know what? If I've seen you on television, if I've seen you on the talk shows, you don't get to be a senator anymore. You're gone. We're just going to go with the ones who go about government business and don't grandstand and don't do the sound bites, etc. That would be nice.
Infected with the COVID.
I mean, honestly, as I've said before, we should just get rid of the Senate altogether. Completely undemocratic. Still have a Senate if you want to, but have them represent the same number of Americans. Incredibly undemocratic institution. That's Walensky.
What are we doing? I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'd like to talk a little bit again. People are talking about the...
There's Jackie Rosen, another of them. You never hear about her.
Test. And apparently...
There's Mitt Romney. Again, we know who he is. He's rarely in the media, though. So I think, you know what, we keep Mitt Romney. We know who he is because he ran for president. He can't help that. I think we keep him.
So your
Bob Casey, he stays.
Your work.
And is that, are we back at the beginning now?
After the witness work, hear more details.
Murray.
To meet
So
the president.
she's chair.
5 months after the president announced we're going to have boosters, this is the first communication from CMS that I've gotten as a Medicare beneficiary in the 2 years of COVID. And all of a sudden I get a request to get boosted.
Okay, well, when did you get the vaccine, sir?
When a Republican governor...
And that's on your healthcare provider. That's not on Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci does not run Medicaid and or Medicare. Anyway. 5 months. 5 months. Richard Burr, he would be a substitute senator. We keep it, like if one of the senators is sick and can't make it, then he gets to step in. He's not allowed to have his own opinion, though. He's just allowed to vote by proxy. He did chair the intelligence committee that said that Trump directly aided the Russians. So...
For government. Sent it back to him, said, hey, look, I've got him. I nailed him in...
Okay, so this is the same hearing. So later today, apparently, there'll be another one. I believe if there's going to do a second round of questioning, then that'll be the case. So it says they're still live. Let's see if that's true or not. And, no, so they're not live anymore. Watch live. Oh, are they?
Okay, you know I love to dance. But did you
Boy,
know that
do
I
we,
have a
Paula.
little secret that keeps my bones strong so I can keep making moves?
She looks good for 87.
Are lower compared with prior.
Okay, so that's from earlier. So there will be more of this later. I got a bunch of auditions to do, so maybe I'll come back with that later. So yeah, well, if you guys want to come up with a list of senators, it just should go ahead. But it's the senators that aren't mentioned by anybody. Those are the senators who get to stay. Because we're like, well, there's this not Ron Johnson, but the other one. Isn't there another Johnson? Who knows? No one knows. There's no way to know. So that's it for me so far today. Maybe we'll come back later. I got a bunch of stuff to look at, including a new studio. So I'll do that. I got some auditions to do, so I'll do those. And then maybe later on this afternoon, we'll talk a little bit more. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Most importantly, go pet a dog.